Now, this is specifically the Massdrop O2 Odac combo, but there are quite a few out there. I'll link to every one of them I could find in the description, and it is better as a combo than individually because of that. When I reviewed the O2, this is why I was like, fuck that thing, it's stupid, because this is what it looks like to hook it up. You'd have to get an O2 or any DAC you want, and then you'd have to have, things run in, and then you'd have to hook it up to that, and then you'd have to have the power come into the front, and then you'd have to have the headphones. So, like that's as sexy as it could ever look. Not that I give a shit about sexy, but that's retarded. So here, do I have another set of headphones? I don't need an adapter either. That's what combos look like. Boom. Alright, so ignore that. That's just here for demonstration purposes of what the old O2 Odac combos used to look like. And this is what it looks like now. So, what do you get? You get a still mini, not micro USB in, and I'm pretty sure that's because the Creative Commons license that the Odac has, the O2 and Odac are Creative Commons because Northwest AV Guy is awesome, but then Northwest V Guy disappeared, so he can't update that to say you could use a micro on it, which is really fucked up. He also probably can't tell you to use a 1/4 inch, but I'm pretty sure they're using some sort of weird fuckery to bypass that. So they're building the board and then attaching a little thing. It's real weird. It's weird how Creative Commons works. He basically said you could build this, and everything has to be that. Like you can't even change like capacitors, types, or anything. And that's great because it means the quality is going to stay up. But then he disappeared like an a-hole. You're an a-hole, Northwest AV Guy. Come complain in my video comments, please. Make me famous. And so the design has had to have been really screwed with on the inside to make this sort of thing possible. So you get a 12 volt AC input on the back, which does not affect, because it's playing right now, does not affect the fact that the DAC is a standalone. Just like this DAC here is USB only, and it powers on USB. The DAC in here is USB only, powers in here. Any other ones of these that have, DACs built in that have power, you can't unplug them or shut them off or else they disappear. Like the Mica Origin or the OWN. But this, the USB goes in, it powers the DAC section. The DAC section is currently working. And this is for only the headphone out. Now, so the back's got a mini, which is unfortunate. I have come over to the micro side. Not the dark side, the micro side. Your power outlet, which does not list here what you need to plug into it, and you have to know it's AC, 12 volt AC, not DC. Everyone's got DC just lying around. 12 volt DCs. And guess what? The plug's the same fucking size, so you're gonna get screwed. You get these line out RCAs, which I have to hook up to something. Probably those JBLs as a goodbye. You got a power here to turn on and off the headphone amp, which is 1/4 inch now. And I'm not telling you that 1/4 inch sounds better, but you see 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Those don't break when you plug something into it, and then like you'd have to really break it to break it. Where 3.5 millimeter, everyone's had an iPhone or an old device that had a 3.5 millimeter that just got yanked just enough to fuck it up. So I'm all about 1/4 inch, just for longevity's sake. You go out and you buy one of these, 1/4 inch to 3.5 millimeter. You can get the little ones that just plug in, but I don't like those because they don't add anything. We're doing this. It has the ability to unplug the wire like that in an emergency. So you get 1/4 inch, you got a power indicator, you got a volume knob that's got a little rubber band around it, 2 rubber bands around it. And this is a high-low gain, even though I don't know how that symbol indicates high-low gain. I'm not an electrical engineer. But apparently it does, because I hit it and it was like, loud! I'm like, oh, I thought that was a switch for the back units from the... No, it's loud! Or not loud. So I've hooked up to this everything. Everything I've got in the shop currently. 2000s, which are easy to drive. 600s, R70s, Alpha Dogs, Mad Dog Pros, Mad Dogs, Tax Star, everything gets hooked up to this. And it is as good as you think it is. And this replaces quite a few of these things. Like here's my workhorse Audio Engine D1. USB powered, so no external power. So this has more actual balls. This doesn't power Alpha Dogs. I mean, it can at like the very maximum, but that's never good. Has RCA outs just like this. This actually has an optical in, which makes it useful. I have yet to use that on anything. Like if I had a game console, if I owned a game console, which I don't because PC Master Race, but if I owned a game console, I could bring this to my living room. I'd have to plug power into this massive full-size USB, and then I could run headphones off a game console. Same thing could be done, though, with the SMSL ST793, and that just plugs into the wall and doesn't need a stupid converter. I'm way on a tangent now, so unplug that. Let's plug in these alphas, put them on high gain, drop them on my little tiny head, which is not massive. God, these are so... How are these more comfortable than all the other Mad Dogs? What do they do to them? Oh. Phil Collins is now taking me home because I don't remember. So, I'm at 11 o'clock on high gain, and these Alpha Dogs are bending the knee. And I'm sure that'll get me pulled off YouTube, so let's lower that. So it's got all the power you need. Now the original Odac, original O2, and I say original like it's any different from this. This is all the same. It was not designed to be a desktop DAC. Northwest AV guy, that a-hole who's not going to comment on my video, of course he's chicken shit. He actually doesn't exist anymore. If you look in there, and I was going to do a full video where I pulled this apart. I'd have to get an Allen key for that. But I'm going to just have you look in there. You see this space? I don't know if you can. You see that space? That's a space for two 9-volt batteries. Right? Because this is supposed to be a portable amp. I don't know who's carrying that. That's why everything's on top. That's just like, here's the little FIO Mont Blanc E12. It's designed to be a portable amp. You got a volume control and you got, input and output all on the top, and it's supposed to sit in your pocket. Well, that's what this is. Only you add your own 9-volt batteries and pull them out to recharge it. Everyone who's got an O2, open it up. Look in the back. Those are there. Again, Creative Commons forced that to be there. So I'm sure in this, there are 9-volt battery terminals because you can't change the design that much. You can't change the design. If it says it's got to be there, Creative Commons says it's got to be there. So those 9-volt terminals, here's the reason I haven't used this as a portable amp, just to test it. I don't have any fucking 9-volt batteries. Who does? Pull them out of 2 smoke detectors and die in a fire. That's literally what will happen. So this was not supposed to be this. This is a desktop amp, FIO EO9K. It plugs into the wall with DC. It's got... Look at the room it's got inside of it to do things, all right? The OWN is designed to be a desktop amp. This crazy Lycan is literally the definition of a desktop amp. Look at it. Yes. This thing was built with literally this much of it is wasted on battery, and it's not supposed to have... That's where those fucking legs came from. I just threw those away. Okay, this thing is wasting this much space to hold batteries. So the amplifier has to live here and here, which is basically, this is just connections because they're all here. And this is where the amplifier has to live. And that's why when people say, hey, should I get an O2 or something like this? Most of the time, I'll say get something like this because there's no restrictions on it. They just made the box as big as they had to and filled it with an amplifier. Mr. Northwest AV guy designed this to be a portable. So it's designed to have two 9-volt batteries. Here, look like a triple finger inside of it. That means everything here is the amp. Which means he had a restriction. And it doesn't make the amp bad, by all means. It's a very good amp. But imagine if he had finished his desktop amp, how much better it would be. And it's been years now. And I'm pretty sure if it came out today, if he just miraculously appeared and, oh, by the way, Christmas 2015, here's my, I forget what he was going to call it. Odesk? I don't know. It would be, I guarantee you, big, like this, and I guarantee you better than the O2 is at powering headphones. Now, I say all this, and at the same time, I can't say anything negative about how this is powering all these headphones. I just know that it's not what is possible if you have the space and no size limitations. So, this is very good. All the clones of it are very good. When you plug speakers into it, and I don't have my goddamn wire to test this right in front of you, but the person who sent me this says his might be fucked up because as soon as he plugs RCAs into this, the headphones shut off. Where it should be when you plug headphones into it, the RCAs shut off. And it's backwards for him. So, Massdrop China. American made, Chinese made. So they finally moved over to China to try to... That's what Massdrop does. I like Massdrop, but at the same time, they take things and they like get us as cheap as possible. The K7XXs are Chinese-made revisions of the Austrian-made K712s or 612s, or whatever ones are the anniversaries. They're basically just like, I like these. We make them real cheap in China and sell them for a lot less. And that's what people like. So, you know, it exists. It's got no channel imbalance problems. How do you fuck up the build of an aluminum square? So, yes, this is a good buy. But it's a portable amp. Deep down inside, that's what it is. And I don't want to keep recommending portable amps for desktop use. If you're going to do 24-hour desktop use, yes, this works. But somehow in my OCD brain, that has nothing to do with how it sounds or performs, because it sounds and performs just great. It's still a portable amp in there with 9-volt terminals. I could unscrew this and show you, but I'm not going to. So, I will sit here hating on it for being a portable amp inside and enjoying the hell out of the Toonami Deep Space soundtrack on it, wondering what could have been had that a-hole Northwest AV guy who doesn't have the balls to post in my comments stuck around and finished his work. Hopefully he didn't die. I mean, someone paid for his website. I'll link to his blog, by the way, where he designed the Odac and was like, fuck everybody else who makes things. I'm going to do it for cheap, but I'm going to give away the plans. I'm going to do it cheaper, better than everyone else, and give away the plans. My hero. Now come back from the dead, you piece of shit, and finish what you started. This gets a nod.